We're live. Good evening, grand rising, beautiful, melanated, original, whatever you respectfully call yourself, people. It's your girl, Straight No Chaser with the Queen, here at the throne. And I am here with the beautiful other Queen, Mrs. Seven Elements Research and Training Institute.
You. Thank you. Blessings, peace, and blessings, sis. Peace and
So,
blessings, pleasure and an honor as well too to be in your presence.
thank you. It's an honor to be in your presence, Queen. We all out here, so I know you got some. I know you got something good for us, and you're gonna come here to educate us. And you taught me a word. So what's that word?
What's that word, girl? What's that word I taught you? What's that?
Nutraceuticals.
Nutraceutical. Yes, yes, yeah. That's a powerful. That's really a powerful word. It's amazing how they came up with it, but it's a powerful word. But yes, go ahead.
Okay, go ahead. So tell us a little bit about seven elements, and then we're going to talk about the word nutraceuticals.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Okay, so once again, my name is I am everybody. I say peace, love, and power to
I can see
all.
the top of you a little bit, Queen, unless you don't
Oh, oh.
care.
All righty. Can you see me now? You got me
Uh-huh.
now?
Yeah.
Okay. All righty. So I said peace, love, and power all. My name is I am, and I'm the founder, owner, and CEO of Seven Elements Research and Training Institute, which is an institute in which I'm getting ready to be bringing forth as being a first cultural institute here in the United States. Dr. Sebi somewhat had one, but he had his over in Honduras. So I specify on the biological difference of melanated people. Hey, 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 peace, love, and power, pride, peace, love, and power, Pride Bentley. And so, yeah, I specialize in the biological differences in melanated people. Peace, love, mwah, mwah. I send that to you, Miss Kathy B. Peace, love, and power. Um, my products are geared specifically for melanated people. I've been studying various things for the last 30 years. And we won't even get inside of that, but we'll definitely have time for it. But one of the things that I'm bringing out with Seven Elements Research and Training Institute is because we are biologically different. Okay. There are not only because we're biologically different, but because of our biological difference, shall I say, because of our biological difference, there are things that we use. There are products that we use that are detrimental to our biological processes, and it interferes with the processes of us being melanated, energetic beings. Okay. With that being said. So that's going to be the basis of the show tonight. But Seven Elements, I deal with environmental issues as it relates to everything that has something to do with the environment. And that is for dealing with the social issues, with economic issues. I would love to say financial, but I ain't got that financial money to be running that. So I'm going to be finding somebody for that. You know what I'm saying? The financial aspect, but the health component, even the political. I teach also about political rights, about the Constitution, about knowing how to go to the federal law and why it's important to go to the federal law to start dealing with the issues that we have coming along. So we'll talk about that once again. So but that's what the Research and Training Institute is. And so what it's done is let me introduce me a little bit too. I'm a former educator. I used to work for the government. I a former caregiver, civil rights activist from back home. I'm currently out in Las Vegas, so there's a lot of things that I want to share with you on things that have happened to me politically that I have to expose what's going on, even to right now to this day. But um, the Research and Training Institute have developed all this knowledge for over 30 years for a lot of things that impact us, okay, and our everyday life, no matter what it is, whether it's surviving mental health, in which we all go through. I wear black for my own mental health, okay, and that's for real, for real. I ain't in denial of that. To the abuse, the systematic oppression. We need to touch base on all of that. So I
Um,
took
uh, um, um, I'm sorry to cut you off, Queen. I'm sorry to cut you off. They want to see your screen. They asked, could you
oh,
adjust your screen?
okay.
I think they want to see your elements too. So if we can,
That's what. See,
are
and that's
y'all
why.
trying to see greetings, Bugani? Are y'all trying to see her face? I'm trying to get her face.
Well,
There,
see, I
yeah.
might have to push it
There
back.
you go. There you go. There you
So,
go.
okay.
If you
Let
can
me.
hold it, I know how it is getting adjusted. And
Yeah, and
while
you
she's
know.
getting adjusted, yes,
Oh,
we
okay. So that's all. So is that good enough? Nope. Because I got.
yeah.
I'll
Well,
go.
look
Yeah,
like
now,
you down. They want to see you, sister.
I got to figure this shit
They
out.
want to see that beautiful
Excuse me.
brown queen.
Look, I ain't mean it. I ain't mean to say that. Miss Kathy, don't get me. Don't get me. Okay. How about now? Because
Okay, I can see you. Go over a little bit more. Yes, because I'm trying to get your sign in the back too.
okay. Can you see me as well?
I can see you in the sign. I see 7 Elements Body Shop. And
Okay.
y'all, while I'm doing that, that's her logo. That's her website down there. It's www.7, the number 7, ERTI319.org. So that's the website y'all can go to. Okay, go ahead. And she's going to
Thank
be
you.
talking health for us. You know, she got all the knowledge, and so she's trying to enlighten us about. And she taught me the new word. Y'all might have known it. I didn't. Nutraceuticals. And go
You
ahead and
got
me. I know you introduced yourself, but explain the word nutraceuticals like you told me.
it. Okay. Nutraceutical is a combination of two words, and that's nutrition and pharmaceutical. Nutrition and pharmaceutical. So that's what nutraceutical is. And what nutraceutical is that it's it can come in the form of food, in which might see a lot of dietary, and you'll find a lot of that going over in China and Asia. They're introducing that in China and Asia right now,
Mhm,
right?
mhm,
Okay, and so the Asians just came out of, I think, maybe about 2 to 3 years ago. I don't know how many years ago, but they came out with products because they found out that these products are not, they don't work for specifically for the Asian people, right? So they
mhm,
had an Asian formulator that was able to create something just for them specifically. So what nutraceuticals do is I've created products that delivers nutrition
mhm,
into the skin. Okay, and it's really amazing. It's very amazing. It's very amazing. I use three biblical scriptures, and I'm not talking religion or none of this, y'all, right here. But I'm
mhm,
just clearly saying, and I use one would be Genesis 1:29 through 31, and the other two would be Ezekiel 47:12 and Revelations 22:2. If y'all look at that, and the message was left, and it said that the fruit thereof shall be the meat and the leaves thereof shall be the healing, right? So we all know about what Dr. Sabi was talking about when Dr. Sabi was talking, and he mentioned mucus is the underlying causes of all diseases, and that disease cannot exist unless mucus is present. Well, I have the truth, and I want to actually bring and rebirth Dr. Sabi's information too, because I have the actual research to validate that. But so what I've done was uh, I through my study I found that as melanated people, our
mhm,
biological difference for us as it relates to the skin. And first of all, let me let everybody know that skin is the first line of defense, and it is the largest organ of the body.
mhm.
So, you know, y'all, when we think of organs, y'all just think about protecting the liver and the kidneys. You understand what I'm saying?
Uh-huh, uh-huh.
That's all you be thinking about protecting, and the heart, but you don't understand that the skin
Mhm,
is the first thing that even talks to the liver and the kidney. because the skin is the first line of defense. And so everything that goes through the skin has a direct correlation into the brain. The skin
Mhm.
communicates with the brain as it relates to who we are, okay?
Mhm. Mhm.
As it relates to our melanin. And that's why you see, if I got to come, oh, shoot. Well, girl, okay, wait a minute. Can you see that where it says products
It's
are
a one of a kind products created for the mind, body,
okay,
and spirit of melanated people.
absolutely, absolutely. Uh-huh. And I'm
Y'all seen
connecting
that for
yes,
melanated people because we
melanin.
have been purposely left behind, or I didn't even know it. And I don't think a lot of us melanated people know that those products that we go to and buy in the store that we love so much was not created for us.
That's not created for us at all. As a formulator, I know that the general formula that
Mhm.
they use, okay, the average chemist or alchemist, well, I call myself an alchemist, but the average chemist that brings and create these products, because what we have to do is that we have to understand, for one, the biological processes. We have to understand, so we have to have more than just an average knowledge. I have to know what nutrition needs. Your skin needs nutrition. It needs certain types of nutrition in order for it to be healthy. And so, because it's the first line of defense, we need to have products that are conducive to us, that help us adapt to the environment. We're in an environment that doesn't belong to us, for one. When we start
Mhm.
dealing with the cold air, you notice how when it starts getting cold, everybody joints and stuff start breaking
Yeah,
down. You
I
understand
am a
what I'm
victim
saying?
of that.
Yeah, you know
As me and my family.
that melanin within us, if we were not created because of the vessel and how we came through life, and when you go through Genesis, and because we are energetic spiritual beings, that was, pretty much so created out of a lot of things, and I would say copper, and were created out of they were created out of copper, different minerals,
Mhm.
sulfur, you know what I'm saying? We need phosphorus.
Mhm.
These are things that we need on a day by day basis. Like our bodies need 102 minerals every day.
See,
You
I didn't
can't,
know that. So we
you
need
can't
that. Let me ask you something. I'm doing my podcast here again. We're here. We're talking with 7 Elements. She's going to educate us on melanated health, how to take care of our bodies from the outside in.
because that's
and
where
um and like again, we're talking about nutraceuticals. And Bugani, he says that he only uses rose water and vitamin E in his hair. What do you have to say about that? What is that? Because I didn't even know
oh,
that.
that's a good, yeah, that's a very great choice. That's a very great choice. I don't use vitamin E because vitamin E is something that was made to create something. It was man made. So I use sea moss. Sea moss is one of the underlying ingredients. Dr. Savy, rest in power, rest in peace be upon him, and Nipsey Hussle.
Mhm.
For Nipsey wanting to get ready to bring this to the people. But that sea moss is something very powerful. It
Mhm.
delivers 92 minerals within itself.
So you
So,
actually wash the sea moss in your hair or you eat
oh
it?
no, honey, you can eat the sea moss. Oh yes, honey.
I'm
You
just getting into it. So I know I need
yes,
this education. That's
yes,
why I'm so excited
yes,
with working
ma'am.
with you.
Oh
'Cause
well,
a
bless
lot of
me.
us don't know, and we don't want to admit that we don't know. Like LeVar, he said he uses coconut oil. I've heard of coconut oil, but I'm just
Coconut
learning
oil
about the sea
called
moss, and I don't even know
pores,
how to
Brother
mix the
Levi.
stuff up.
Look, Brother Levi, I hope you hear me. Coconut oil clogs
LeVar,
pores. Tell him it clogs pores.
it
Yeah,
causes what?
it clogs pores. It
See, I
clogs
didn't know because when I tried to get my granddaughters, one of my granddaughters, she breaks out real bad every time we use coconut oil. So is it good for the skin or is it not? It's not
now
good for the hair.
it see, and it's very sensitive. Well, because how they make coconut oil, the process that depends on whether they made it naturally coming straight from the coconut, or not. Hey,
Mhm.
Black Love 17 said she's soaking some right now. That's what I'm talking about. soaking that sea moss now. But
I'm looking at Bugani. One of them. I'm looking for the comment. He said, "Wait a minute." He said you could use sea moss in your hair. I didn't know that.
yes, tell Brother Bugani my products have sea moss in them. Yes, you can.
Wow. See,
Yes,
that's why she's here to educate us.
yes, yes. My product from the soap all the way down. Sea moss is a great hydrator. Like I said, it actually delivers 92 minerals. It delivers 92 minerals of the 102 minerals that our bodies created.
You
Sea
might
moss
well
have
come on and
copper.
learn, baby. I'm sorry to cut you off. My husband came and said, I told him, come on and learn. Wait a minute, because y'all teaching us something.
I was listening
Oh,
in the
okay.
background.
I see Kathy says she uses rose water, distilled water, and peppermint oil for her sister locks.
Yeah, absolutely.
So that's why
Peppermint oil is great.
we need our melanated community, because y'all teaching me stuff I don't know. But go
Yeah,
ahead.
peppermint oil. That's very great for the sister locks. Peppermint is an insect
You
repellent.
gotta use
It
that.
repels peace, love, and power, King. Peace, love, and power. Peppermint actually repels insects. So when you're dealing with sister locks, because I've had locks before,
Uh-huh.
it's just everything is just building, and then depending on what one's purpose for going through that transformational process,
Mhm.
one might wash them often, one might not. I didn't. I may have washed my hair once a year, and it
See,
was all the way down the middle of my back, right? But
she only washed it once a year.
it nonetheless it still doesn't. And the reason why I did that is because I keep my hair wrapped, so I don't have particles floating from the air into my hair. And what we need to understand is that we have an immune system inside of our hair. Okay,
See?
we we have what is called another aspect of melanin. The melanin that in our skin is 20 layers deep. Okay,
Mm.
we have 20 tell a brother Bogani I can get back to him and tell him I'm gonna have to actually have him to send me a shout out to get to the question so that I don't get thrown off.
Yeah, we gonna keep
Yeah.
because this coming is interesting. So I mean,
I know, and it is, and I definitely want to, and that's why I say I'm gonna give him that information for him to contact me one on one. And
Mhm.
anyone for that matter. Before I do it, like I told you, I'm trying to learn how to do it, and
Mhm.
the way my mind operates is I got to stay focused. So
Yeah,
I'm
yeah.
trying to try not to look at the comments because that don't
Okay.
help me. That doesn't help me. Ain't nothing against you. I'm just saying me. I'm just old fashioned. I'm building my courage. So I'll be all right. It ain't nothing personal against nobody, y'all. Please
No, no,
forgive
no. We all what I was taught when I used to be in church. We take all flaws, mistakes, and everything in love. We're all
me.
learning.
And
You know
that's because I do come in peace, love, and solidarity. I also come and I'll mess you up too. But yeah, because I do keep me a peace now. Don't get it twisted.
Bugani said he gonna be ordering from you ASAP. I don't mean to throw you off. Kathy said she got her sea moss from you. You sell the sea moss too?
I sell sea moss as well too. Yes.
Oh,
Yes.
okay. So
We
go
gonna
ahead.
get into that. But what I want to tell y'all is going back into the melanin.
Grab something
Our
while you're
biological.
talking. I'm gonna grab something. Go ahead.
Okay. Our biological differences, y'all, as it relates to our skin and the melanin inside our skin, which, by the way, these folks tricked us to y'all to make us think that it was vitamin D, because vitamin D is actually not a vitamin. It's a hormone, which is the melanin. Melanin is an electrical conduit, and it absorbs light from the sun. I ain't gonna go all the way deep inside of that, but it absorbs light from the sun, and as it relates to us being able to adapt to the environment, right? That's why that's why we're so special with our melanin, and it protects us. It works with the sun. See, that's why we're different. So we have 20 layers. They got 16 layers.
Oh, see.
Go figure. Yes.
Yeah.
We have 20 layers. They have 16 layers. So when we understand about skin, and you have your epidermis, you have different layers, and so you have to deal with, you have the melanin works directly with the immune system. Melanin exists all around the body. It exists inside the lungs. It exists inside the brain. We have THC automatically. Melanin is the THC. Cannabis. It's a form of cannabis. Our bodies naturally.
Know that. See, now you're gonna get me. That's why they come after us. Because see, I know the phrase is thick skin, so that's why it's us because we thicker. And I didn't know because I know it's a connection with the cannabis in us. That's why that's the only plant they make illegal because they know that people are connected to it. And
hold up, sis. Let me tell you this, and I say the most unfair thing another thing, which is why another reason we got to separate from these people, because even with them using the drug test is it's absurd, because all of those scientists, any biologist, any chemist, anyone should automatically know that our melanin inside of us connects to the sun, right? And that because they tell us it's vitamin D, but it's actually your melanin. It's called eumelanin, EUMELANIN. We have it in the skin. We also have neuromelanin in our hair, okay? It all works with the immune system. So when we protect our hair and keep our hair covered, all airborne particles that flow in the air, like COVID-19, y'all, do forgive me. But if we keep our hairs covered, if there is such a thing as COVID-19, I don't know. I look at the sky a lot and I be seeing some funny things. I don't know if it's a bird, it's a plane, or if it's Superman, okay? You understand what I'm saying? I don't know if it's a bird, plane, or Superman, but it'd be having some white lines and it'd be having
them chemtrails.
Right. So we can protect ourselves from that by keeping our head wrappings on and not allowing our heads to be exposed to the air, because the airborne bacteria, you can't see it even when you're in your house. You can have dead skin, girl, and your dead skin can float in the air and you will not know it.
I know that because I clean and I know when I clean it, I know like everything. I know parts of what you're saying, but I ain't put it all. I didn't know it all together because they always teach us to leave out parts. But one thing I always say, because I just told my husband, didn't I just say this morning? I said, ever since a little child, I don't know, I always wrap my hair. Didn't I say that? Everybody know me to wrap my hair and wear scarves.
Yes, ma'am. Look at that. Right.
Do that.
Well, that's well, you did it because you ancestrally connected.
That's what I'm saying. It's like I'm learning more about myself through other people.
Absolutely, and and that's what's going to make our journey so beautiful. That's what's going to make our journey so beautiful, because we're all learning. We all need to learn. We all need to come back to nature. We all need to identify with who we are, and the only way we can do that is by going back to natural things. Is by going back.
Yeah, that's where we going. Let me ask you this: when you're going back to the melanin, I'm gonna pull up Brandon's comment. He said that's why they tell us the sun gaze, because the vitamin D is a hormone and it's released when we feel the warmth of the sun. It aids healing and recovery and wakes the body up.
Absolutely, and that's the melanin. And so they call it vitamin D. And so even with them putting these restrictions to COVID-19 is a direct threat against our health, because we need that. We really do. But nonetheless, you also have to understand that the way melanin is produced inside the body is not just also produced inside of the skin. It begins inside the skin. No. The process of the synthesis of melanin, it begins in the skin with the direct connection with the sun, right? But it still has to go through a process in order for it to formulate and be able to transfer and go through the body. You feel what I'm saying? In order for it to go through the body. So it starts off inside the skin, then it travels and it makes its way down and through the liver, through the kidneys, and then that's how you have that vitamin D long 25 D3 shit they be talking about. And they be, that they be talking about, but that's the melanin. So the way it's synthesized and produced, so you can produce it naturally inside the body, because we are energetic beings, and because we are solar beings, and because we're natural and connected to the earth, we're earth beings. Let me say that, y'all. Let me go back. That's what we are. We're earth beings. We come from the earth, period, point blank. We come, yes, we do have natural, we have natural biological advantages, LeVar. That's why China have already made, they figured out how to make, and that's why they've done what they've done to us for the last 400 years. They've studied us. So we have to really be rationally and logically smart. When we think of everything that they've done, let me just share this right here, because he done brought that out and I have to talk about this. This is what they did to Dr. Sadie. And I have to elaborate on that. So the ancestors are saying to do it right now, y'all. The American Medical Association has been in operation since 1847. They spearhead all doctors, all training, all everything that come up underneath them, right? 1847, y'all do the math, right? To 2021, and you figure out, you tell me how long that stuff is, right? Now, they're responsible, once again, they develop all policies, or they work with in hand in tandem with a lot of other people in other nations as they start dealing with science. So we have to understand how this stuff goes. So 1847, they've been studying us since they brought us over here with that slave trade, because they knew that something wasn't working for them. Their time is up, and they know that. This is what all this is about. So they had to take our melanin. China has already created synthetic melanin. They've already learned how to develop. They've made robots out of synthetic melanin. Melanin is electrical. You create cars with melanin. So when I started getting into my training,
how they send the spaceships. I knew one thing about melanin, that they had to coat. What people don't understand, the vessels they send up in space, they have to coat it with melanin. And I always say, where the hell they get melanin from back in the days, unless it came from us, because you just can't grow melanin.
And so what I think is that when we leave, I'm telling you, because they control all of that, I believe that when we leave, they do whatever it is that they do. Do you understand what I'm saying? Just like that sister who died, or transformed, rather, she didn't die. She transformed only in a physical sense, but she was still alive. They found her heart and stuff, and these white folks been using that woman's stuff. Her stuff was still beating. It was, I think her heart was still beating inside of her. One woman, biologically, and they and the family found out about it in some lawsuit. Y'all, so I hold so much inside of there, but the melanin, they know that our melanin,
Peace, God is masterpiece.
God is masterpiece. Peace. They know our melanin is important. They know that our melanin is our life force. Melanin is your life force. The sun is the life force. Without sun, we have nothing. It's just like without rain, we have no vegetation. Everything works hand in hand. So since we are created from soil, from dirt, you know how you go into Genesis and that message was left and said we were created from water and a dirt. So when you think of dirt, what does dirt have? Dirt has minerals. You find lots of minerals in dirt. So many good things. And that's why we're always dirty, because we are dirt. And when we realize that that's a form of bacteria that we are, that we have, that we live with, that we possess, that because we come from the melanin is it's, that's where black come from. And that's why I stay, and I'm going to choose the word black, because when you do and look up the etymology of melanin from a medical standpoint, it relates to dark, to black, right? So that goes to the black hole, that goes to matter, and that's what we are. We're matter. We're just a big ball of matter, a big ball of matter. And so when we understand how energy and matter function, then we can better understand how to protect ourselves, right? And so that's all it is. So we are matter here in this world, created in the physical sense. But before we became physical beings, we were the energetic beings that we were, that had to come before our existence, i.e., our tissue, our cells. You understand what I'm saying? And your tissues and your cells are the building blocks of your organs. So that's how we're created. So when we understand how the body was created and how it's formulated, right? And so the biological process that it has to go through, what even when we're in the womb, that's where this goes through. This stuff is deep. It's really deep. So
It is. It's very deep because I look at science. I'm starting another channel. I haven't put anything. It's called I Am Queen Space, because I study, because they find elements out there. They're always, people don't understand how stars are formed. It's formed the same way we are. People don't understand. I told my husband the pineal gland, I think, is the gland that's starting to stretch out from, like you said, the organs. Everything has to come. It holds all the memories from
correct.
That's why when you take the pineal gland somewhere and you put it in something, in that melanin, it does. That's how you automatically know to make fire, to build the memories, the thoughts, and everything start coming. Melanin holds us. We are matter.
To even exist. You are absolutely right, sis. And guess what connects with and communicates with the pineal gland? Guess what communicates with that? The sun. I mean, the skin. The skin. The skin is that first organ. And so because the melanin is part of our immune system, it works with the immune system. It is the immune system. It surrounds it. Oh, look at that. Oh, peace and blessings. I love you, Goddess. I love you. Man, I give praises.
We love Goddess Masterpiece.
Man, all day. Yes. I have to give praises, honey. I send my kisses to it. But when we understand that, and like you said, sis, that in order for our thoughts to even come up, like you said, through the pineal gland, that pineal gland has to be clean. It has to be strengthened. And that's where our spirituality and our intellect and our intuition lives. Though it does live throughout all the bodies, we got the different chakras, and we have different levels that are responsible for everything. You have the different chakras, and that's why you see the chakras on my label, because I deal literally with energy healing, and I deal with the subtle auric field that existed before we came into existence, if that makes any sense. So, and that's what it was. So remember, we're spiritual because it's mind, body, and spirit. And we were spirit before we became physical. And because they have taken us away from who we are, right? They took from all of our ancestral teachings. They took our traditional knowledge, right? And they created other systems, like the Chinese have the system. They have the Kundalini energy, and they've got they took all of that from us. Even like with the martial arts, all of that comes from us because we were the beginning of it. We are the masterminds. We are the masterminds of all things, right? We definitely are. And so we are the creators of all creation, and we are the innovators. We are the innovators of this earth. We all know that, right? It's why you want to go on this mission. So with protecting our body and coming into the essence of your spiritual wellness, there's things that we have to do. Okay, there's things that we have to do, even when we deal with mental health. I'm and I'll just share a little bit with you all. I'm a 2-year suicide survivor. I went through a lot of stress, right? And all of my life, I've just been taking care of people, right? And I never really knew how to take care of me. But because I know how to take care of people, I'm starting to learn how to take care of me now. If that makes any sense.
Yes.
And so I was dealing. I've been going through a transformational process within the last 11 years or 10 years now. This is 2021. It began in 2011, and so I was dealing with my own mental health issues, right? And then this was stemming from stress and stemming from a lack of not having this, a lack of not having that, in which we all go through, right? And that's the part of being Black. So when we deal with wellness, and that's why I'm trying to teach, because what I had to do, thank you. Blessings, I give praises. It's my ancestors. Believe you me, I got my mama and my grandmama and sisters everybody is they rooting for me because I have too much to give before
Mm-hmm.
you understand what I'm saying? The enemy, I
Mm-hmm.
have too much to give. So, but with dealing with that, I had to bring myself back to reality, because the mind is such a powerful organ, and it's so very strong as it
Mm-hmm.
relates to dealing with the psychology of thinking. You understand what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Because
Mm-hmm.
thinking is the leading. I play chess and I love chess, right? And so my chess mentor had a program called Thought Before Action, and it makes sense because you got to think before you make the action,
Yeah.
right? You know what I'm saying? Thought before
Mm-hmm.
action. So if we stop and think before we start doing stuff, we can change a lot of our behaviors, right?
Exactly. And they teach us not to think. This is a society that teaches us to go on impulse,
On
not
impulse,
thinking. We
correct,
go by what we like and what feels good.
and
That's
what
why we
feels
do
good,
bad and we
and
do bad stuff.
listen, and you have to understand, you have to be okay with being different. I remember blessings, sis, and I give praises, and you're very welcome. And we got more to come. But let me share with this. My mother never gave me shots, right? So I, in turn, never gave my children shots. I had to raise my children up. I was raised Pentecostal, and I raised my children Muslim, right? And then I'm just me now, right? But nonetheless, I did the same thing with my children, and my mother never celebrated holidays, so I've never, except with my grandmother and the other family, I didn't have that direct experience in my home, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so when
Mm-hmm.
we think of how we live and how our lives are shaped, the evolution
Mm-hmm.
of life, because life comes in so many phases. It comes in phases. So we start through that whole process with,
Mm-hmm.
with with having the limbs and everything being created. You know what I'm saying? We come with that. Then we start forming the brain, and then after all of that started coming in, like you said, the pineal gland, then we start getting arms, and then we start getting fingers, and then right. So we got that. Then the mama, we got a baby down, right?
Mm-hmm.
Come
Mm-hmm.
through this work, and we're in the birth stage, in the fetal stage, and we got to grow up, and we have to adapt to our environment. We have to adapt to our environment, right? And so as we're learning, we learn things based off of our experience. What is exposed
Yeah.
to us? What is given to us? We only know what is given to us until we come off into our own purpose and start walking into our own path and journey of life and getting a different type of information. Okay, if that makes any sense. And so um, by us doing that, when we get to this from the beginning to the middle, we got so much high melanin that comes through us because that just we still trying to adapt from a biological standpoint, because when we understand what bacteria, germs, and viruses are, you understand what I'm saying? How
Mm-hmm.
you fight that, and when we understand how the immune system has to respond, and it has to have an automatic defense, and that's why I love martial arts. That defense knock you out, right?
Mm-hmm.
But you have to have that our immune system has to be ready that to get whatever it is that's coming out in the air, whatever it is that's around, it have to do it. That's how we have to adapt to our environment from that standpoint. But from the biological standpoint, internally, we
Mm-hmm.
need nutrition.
That's
We
right.
need nutrition. They stole everything that we have, and they have used, I think the word is, it might be capitalism, communism.
They use that BS capitalism like you capitalize off it when it's nothing but robbery and to make and
and that's
robbery
and
and
that's what
killing.
and that's what they did from everything that we have, even to the watermelon. The watermelon was brought over here. It
From
was brought
Africa.
from
And that's
Africa.
one of the fruits that well, you could call it fruit, whatever. That's one of the things that you can get most of your water from, because even if the planet went to salt, there's fruits and vegetables we can replenish ourselves with, but they're polluting the air, the water, the soil,
Everything.
because they don't honor
They're
her.
trying to kill us off.
Mhm.
They trying to kill us off. Here, point
That's
blank.
right.
That's
They
that's
know
that's
that.
they know it. So They know that we need that, and because nutrition is nutrition is such a critical element and component to our survival. And the reason being, and I'm going to piggyback to what you said off of the watermelon, just because you're absolutely correct. It's 92% of water, and the water that's inside of that watermelon is natural because of how the watermelon is naturally created and naturally formed. So what that the watermelon has inside of it is it has nutritional substances that
Mhm.
have certain types of molecules, biological molecules, okay, that feed directly into our cells, because that's what is that runs the engine. That's why I'm Seven Elements Body Shop. Our body is just like the car. Even when they developed the computer mimics the human body. All you got
I
to
know that. That's what I tell people. I said, if you have to understand anything these people make, they cannot produce from themselves naturally. So what they do is that they start making synthetic things. They want to make robots. They want to make synthetic melanin, because even without melanin, they have melanin, but they don't produce the melanin we produce. So we're the
do.
only one. And if people understood, that's why I love space. If you understood, they keep us away from science, because if you understood metaphysics, physics, and
Yes, ma'am.
everything, you would not believe in God. You would understand melanin is God, because without it, nothing can have life.
Listen.
That's
And
for Jesus.
it's you absolutely correct. That is the life force, because the melanin is the life.
It's
The
not the
melanin,
blood.
it's the, and in fact, and then we can even get so much to, we will talk from a cultural standpoint going through our trainings in the future. The melanin being
Thank you,
laid
Black Mama. You always donate. Thank you.
melanin being led to the being the sun god Ra, and the sun being sun god Ra, and how we're retransformed as
Hmm.
the physical gods, because even Psalms 82:6 tells you, "For ye are children of the Most High, ye are gods."
Hmm.
They gonna never tell me I ain't no goddess. Never. It
That's what
says
I said. We can't wait for them to tell us we gods or we kings and queens. That's why I went on and bought my crown. I'm gonna have a crown before I
go
lay
ahead.
down.
And you
That's
look good inside of your throne. And look, you look like you stand inside of your throne, and you stand on your throne, because that's what a queen does and a goddess
hmm
does that. You
But I
know,
had to get that mindset.
yeah. But and that's what it is. So we have to do a lot of programming. I have programs that I'll be talking about that I'm going to be doing, and what I believe as solutions is that we have got to digress from everything. We've got to separate from
Yes.
people. We've got to separate from their whole entire training system, which is
Let
why
me say
I have.
this. I don't mean to cut you off. I don't mean to cut you off. We do, because how let me put my battery in. Lord, y'all. Hold on. I thought my battery was all the way in my computer. What they do, like you said, the brain, they program us, and so they put the stuff that make our tongue convince our brain we need it because it tastes good when it's not good for us. But yet, why do we keep eating stuff that is not good for us? Because we are not educated on our body. See, they make that pyramid mess with the dairy, this and that, and we're not even supposed to be touching dairy. I even see a black surgeon on me and you were talking about it, how a black surgeon said you could get as much nutrients from milk as you can do from the dead breast of an otter. I mean,
You
a dead otter breast, meaning
you
nothing.
no,
But they keep saying we lactose intolerant when we're not. We just
and
allergic. We're
that's
not cows.
correct, because it was not created for us. It comes from cows, and that's not the natural form quite for us. And so, but yeah, they've used that. That's not how they capitalize, and that's actually, I would like to say dairy. And I'm gonna tell everybody, if you have asthma, if you have COPD, if you have any of that, I would suggest. I also do dietary consultation for those of y'all too. So I want to throw that out there, because that does
But
make a difference.
you seem like the go-to person that we all need to go to, and
Uh,
I'm going to keep having you on because it's needed. I mean,
Thank you,
I know,
sis.
according to what your schedule, because I know me and you, we
Oh,
talk
we
all the time.
we got to
But
do it. You set the
either,
time now, baby. Yeah,
yes, because at least
the
once a
schedule is
week.
whenever you call me. Whenever, look, I'm gonna be. I'm gonna have to make myself ready.
Well,
Cause
we're going to do it because we need to talk about our melanated health at least once a week, because that's the only thing. Because remember with the other black dude a long time ago, they were saying how he went in the hood and he started the healthy shakes because he said when you're in the hood, when your mind is messed up, you don't care. And he said it equated to the violence and everything in the neighborhood. And once he
oh, it
done,
does because you got
because your mind,
your mind.
explain that to us.
You're lost. Let me tell you where I'm from. I'm from Milwaukee, Wisconsin, right? And there was a study, a sociologist,
Black love, you found your tribe. Go ahead.
uh, uh, a sociologist, logist came, and he did a 4-year study there, and he found that in the inner city, where I came from and where I even grew up from, it's because of my mother's training. My mother was in the military, so I have a militant background. You understand what I'm saying? Mama didn't play that. I had to be smart. She ain't never helped me with homework a day in my life, but I couldn't bring nothing less than a B home. You understand what I'm saying? So Mama worked that out, and she didn't give me TV. We weren't allowed to watch TV, so I was kept away, and I was made and created to be studious and to be a thinker, and I'm thankful for that. I'm thankful. That's the best thing that my mother could have done for me, because now I can take what I know and I can bring it to those that didn't take the time to do that. You
Well, we
understand
thank you
what
and your
I'm
mama for that.
saying? Man, thank you, sis. Thank you. So, but yeah, when getting back to connecting with the stars, and that's who we are. We all need each other, and so what they've
Let me
done.
ask you one more question before you go to the stars, and I'll keep your thought for you. I see, Mimi, you were talking about the milk and the phlegm, and because I used to have asthma, and from what I understood, that milk makes it worse. So I think she was wondering about the question about connecting asthma to milk.
Yes, absolutely. The milk. They have two different forms of milk. I'll just let y'all know that, right? Okay. And I just want to share that the protein that they talk about, that's what they're talking about, this milk. And Bogani is right, the meat as well too. But the protein from the milk is what they trying to say we need, and you're healthy, it makes your bones healthy and all of that. That's not what it is. Milk was created with two forms of a different type of protein that is very different, and that doesn't come from us, obviously, because it comes from a cow. And it's called A1 casein and A2 casein. One is considered the little devil.
Yes, man.
That would be the A1. That's considered the little devil. It's considered the little devil. And it the reason why it impacts asthma is because it creates an excessive production of mucus. Dr. Sebi was right when he said that mucus is the underlying causative agent for disease. Without mucus, you cannot. I drink alkaline, and y'all, this is not. I'm not promoting. I don't get paid from this. I just love the crap about this water right here. Right, this is alkaline. Girl, I don't know. See, I don't even know how to do it. Okay, so I drink this alkaline water. I put this inside of my products. I make sure that my products have a pH that is alkaline, because our melanin it has a neutral pH. So when I talk about we got to really get some deep things, it's really deep. We have a pH. Our melanin is neutral. It's not acidic. It's not acidic. It's not alkaline. It's neutral. So we have to make sure our cells, in order for it to stay hydrated, because if you ever notice how you can drink a lot of water and you can still be dehydrated,
Yes.
that's because water does not hydrate by itself. It cannot. It does not have all the molecules.
And I always wondered that. I'd be like, most of us, if you outside, like, dang, how you so thirsty and you just drunk water? You ever like when they say, dang, I can't even quench my thirst?
That's exactly what it does. It makes you that water is not what feeds the cells and the tissues. The cells and the tissues and the blood is where pathogens, the foreign pathogens, i.e., bacteria, germs, the viruses. So everything that creates strep throat, that creates pneumonia, all of that stuff is created by different forms of bacteria, right? So that bacteria are foreign. It's foreign. It's foreign to the human body. It's foreign to us. It shouldn't get in. We're not supposed to let it in, because if we let it in, then it starts taking over. So that's how with tell sister Mimi, even with the asthma. Let me get back to the milk. Tell her you can go and look. I think the American Lung Association did an article, released an article, I believe it was in 2017, and it's called 21 Foods that cause, uh, uh, these words might not, the title might not be verbatimly, but it's 21 mucus that cause, excess, 21 foods that cause excessive production of mucus.
I've heard of different stuff because they're catching on to it now. That's why, with us being with people like you, our Black health people, I always did the sea moss. I've always seen it, the almond and the plant based. Now, every time you go in the grocery store, boom, they got all this new.
They capitalize and all
they're trying to charge us out the woo-wah for it. When it's, we got to stop being played like that. They never leave a spot for us to capitalize off of our own.
And listen, that's why 7 Elements Research and Training Institute has been birthed. Let me share. It's inspired. I'm inspired to do everything I do.
And y'all see the website. The website is right down here.
Yeah, by Proverbs 31:9, which says that we need to open up our mouths for the mute. We need to open up. And because I know the truth, you understand what I'm saying? I have to bring the truth now, and I have to tell it. So what 7 Elements Research and Training Institute is going to do is I'm getting ready to start certifying people.
Okay.
I'm going to be certifying healers, right? I'm going to be certifying so that you can understand. I'll be teaching about essential oils. I'll be teaching about why we need to go to essential oils and why I choose more essential oils than I do herbs, because as us being energetic beings, we have frequencies. So diseases, when you look at your body, disease can only exist in your body if your frequencies are at certain levels. So you have to raise. So when you have a cold, your body is, that means that your body is at a lower frequency. You got to do something to raise that frequency back up. You understand what I'm saying? The energy around it. How do you do that? The frequency that needs to be raised back up when you have a cold is your immune system. You understand what I'm saying? That's the first frequency that has to be raised, because the immune system is, you have different
alert. And when you think about it, they're always trying to spark the immune system. That's the whole point of they messed up vaccines. They're trying to activate the immune system to wake it up, to start fighting.
Correct. And what they're doing is they're putting chemicals that is foreign to our bodies in the inside. And what it's doing is it's throwing our immune system off whack. And so we're thrown off the inside. We really need to go through complete, total detoxification from everything, from, like we said, to them, what they're doing inside the sky that is being released, that we have no idea of what it is, to everything that they're putting inside of the products. If you look at even your most favorite, and I'll use Bath and Body Works, and I'm going to say this, and I'm going to say names, and before I begin anything, I'm going to give a legal disclaimer, and I'm going to give a legal disclaimer publicly before I go into any further, because I should have done that. And my legal disclaimer is this here. I am a business set up in Las Vegas, Nevada. Okay. I provide health and wellness services, energy healing services in compliance with law. I am going to be teaching about some things, and a lot of my education and information that I share with you and with everyone, it may sound as if I'm talking from a medical standpoint. So I would like to let everybody know that the information that I bring is my intellectual property. So this is my legal disclaimer. It's my intellectual property because it's my knowledge. It's my studying. It's my research.
Yep.
It's what everybody does. It's what you do when you do what you do. You understand what I'm saying? It's what somebody else.
That's what they steal all the time. They wait for our melanin to kick in, and our mind creates the imagination. Our mind creates the things that we bring to touch.
Yes.
We bring it out of us, and they wait for us to create, so they piggyback
So they could take it
off our intellectual property. But
yeah, and that's what they've done. They did it to Dr. Sebi. They got rid of Dr. Sebi, and it's really crazy because everything Dr. Sebi was talking about is true. And I have the research.
He took Dr. Sebi. I don't know if everybody know, and that's what made me start looking. But by the time I was following Dr. Sebi, next he's dead. And then it's so funny how we sit back, but I remember Dr. Sebi took them to court, New York in general, and he was curing people with AIDS, and they sued him. And from what I researched, he won. So that's why they were mad, because they have this black man walking around trying to heal his people,
doing something in which they have not been able to do since 1847.
And what do? They kill us, and then the people that like Martin Luther King, Malcolm X, the Black Panthers, Dr. Sebi, when they kill the leader of the work gets screwed around, and then nobody really knows how to collect it. So I'm so glad we found you, 7 Elements, because you got 30 years of research. You can pick back up, because we need somebody because you got so many people out here that sell products under the name of natural, but I know you hand make yours and along with your research. So we need someone like you. So if everybody would follow, if you want some real products to help your body,
man, listen,
and education, everything we need to follow.
You would really, you would really be amazed. And back to Sister Mimi, that would have an asthma. Asthma is so critical. Asthma is very critical because your immune system is severely impacted with asthma, and it's severely impacted from a lot of things because how asthma is developed and where it comes from. It comes from an accumulation of this, that, and the other, right? But the underlying cause that makes an asthma attack is inflammation. Inflammation is the underlining is the beginning. Okay, it's the beginning process. Inflammation is like the daddy. Yeah, the inflammation is the daddy. It's to start pain.
Mm-hmm. I had asthma, so I understand. And then when you say that, I was in Bronx, New York when I had asthma. That's why I moved to the South, because my asthma was off like this. And I remember the doctor drawing, and he was telling my mom, he was like, you want to save her life? Because what people don't know, a lot of our black people, melanated people, migrated up to the north. And when all the chemicals in the air, he kept telling my mom, he said, if you want to save her, get her out the city.
It wasn't spoken.
He said you got people, because it wasn't that much. Just think, I'm born in 74 now. So back in the 70s, it wasn't all this. The manufacturers wasn't as bad as it is now. So when you come to the South, the South is more clean air and stuff. They wasn't dropping chemtrails on us left and right. It was emitting from the buildings. All the corporations. And so I remember the doctor telling me, if you want to tell my mama you want to save her, get out the city and take her to the South. Now that same, because remember New York had a bad smog problem. Y'all remember that? What is smog? Chemicals in the air.
All day. Listen, they have released so much. Blessings, Black Mama. Thank you.
Yes, thank you, Black Mama. She is a Black supporter. She always support me, donate.
Yeah, I make lip balms too, so I felt my lips getting a little bit. I had to put a little gloss.
I think someone, Bugani, said he sent you an email.
Yes, and I'll definitely do that. Obviously I can't do it now, but
let me ask you this. I don't want to take you off. I know we're going to talk about the universe. See, how long does sea moss last? Because I didn't know how to do it and I didn't know what to do. I got some frozen Jamaican sea moss that I had from.
May I look at it, please?
Uh-huh.
That's fresh. Is that, wait, can you turn it to the other side? I see. Oh yeah, that's fresh.
That's fresh?
That's fresh.
I don't know what to do with it. So me and you going to talk later because I know I ordered it and I got this. Where is it? I had this before. I get some from you, but I had ordered it before me and you talking. I put it in the freezer.
I can't see it.
It's wild Atlantic. Hold on.
It looked like that's a seaweed wrap. It's a wrap. It's
just supposed to be seaweed for snacking and baking and stuff.
Oh, well, they just made it into a form. A food form.
It's supposed to have bladder rack. What is that?
Bladder rack is another one of the products that Dr. Savy used to help cure AIDS. Bladder rack is filled. It has a very high content of iodine. So for those that lack that have the form of thyroid disorder, tell Mimi I'm gonna be talking. Sister Mimi, you tell Mimi. But Sister Mimi, if you live in LA, I got something for you to be coming soon because I deal with the environmental issues. There's some things going on. I'm right next door to you in Nevada. So our your ozone in Los Angeles is part of your problem with your asthma. I can tell you that right now. I'm coming.
She is probably not lying.
No, I'm not. I got the girl. I got the proof. Right? I got to bring the proof. The truth. I deal with accountability and transparency. We got to understand what we working with. If we don't know, I don't know if anybody have ever studied the art of war, but the art of war says if you know your enemy and you know yourself, you need not fear the results of 100 battles. If you know yourself and know your enemy for every victory gain, if you know yourself and don't know your enemy, for every victory gain, you will suffer a defeat. If you know neither yourself nor your enemy, you doomed. So what that means is when we deal with surviving in this world as a people, you understand what I'm saying? When we deal with surviving as a people, we got to understand what these people have done. And that's what they've done. They know that everything from the outside is going to have an impact on the inside of us. They know that. They know it. They know that. They know it. However, they're not competent, which is why I say that I'm getting ready to definitely start doing training in that. And we're going to take over because these white folks can't speak for me. They can't speak for my health. You can't tell me I'm fit. You understand what I'm saying? I ain't never had y'all shots. You can't tell me there's not such a thing. It's time to get away from them. It's time to understand. And doctors are incompetent any dang on way because they only get 25 hours of nutritional training throughout their whole schooling.
And then that training ain't have nothing to do with us because we're not represented. When you have a bunch of people who don't look like us, you can see our government, the surgeon generals, everything. These people don't look like us, so they don't care about us.
They don't care about us, and they continue. I follow Bath and Body Works money. Bath and Body Works make bukus of money in the million. Yes, Black Love, you need to read it, man. I done read that book 3 times, and if I had
I think that's all of us that's in the nation. We need to start trying to read the Art of War because that's one of our things. We need a book list too, so that we can all have our minds sharpened and stuff.
Man, tell one of the sisters, maybe like, hey, Black Love, you want to start that book, the book list, the book club? We really do. No, for real, we really do need to have someone to do that, but so that we can understand what we're dealing with, and then we're gonna bring that back home, and that's what the Nutraceuticals is. So I know that Black people, because we intake, there's also another research that I want y'all to look at. It came out in 2018. And it was released by the American Medical Association Journal, the Journal of the American Medical Association. And it talks about the Black diet the Southern diet. The
Mm-hmm.
Southern diet is the underlining cause. It's too high. The salt, the seasoning salt, that ain't the right kind of salt our body needs. That our body doesn't need that type of salt. That's iodized. We need iodine. There's a difference between the two.
Didn't
You
know that.
understand?
Didn't know that.
Yeah,
Mm-mm.
there's a difference between the two. So when you start having too much, then that starts building up inside your cells. It starts creating a high blood pressure. It it start doing a lot of that, sis.
With
It's
following healthy, like you said, like what we reverse our health by, like, how long do you think? I know, just a suggestion, I know you can't just say specifically, but have you seen us, the worst of the black, start eating right, following the right things, and really change their health? Is it hope for us to change our health in the state that we're in?
you know what, I would honestly say that there, and I don't want to say hope, uh because hope leaves a little bit of and big in a room for ambiguity,
Mm-hmm.
to me, for unclearness. I want to be perfectly clear here that understanding biologically, because we are energy beings, we need energy food. Energy food is anything made from earth. That's it. That's all. Nothing else. I don't, their milk, it causes an overproduction of mucus, right? And that starts going into your lungs because the mucus is right there. You got mucus inside your lungs, mucus inside your ears, mucus inside your eyes. You even have mucus down in the vaginal area.
Yeah, you're
You
right about
understand what I'm
that.
saying? Have right, right. So mucus, but no, mucus is serious, and that's where everything lives. That's where all everything. So we can get rid of mucus, and you'll find yourself being so much better because when your body has too much mucus production inside of you, then inflammation begins building up, and then that's when you start getting swelling, when you start going through the pain.
Oh.
Yeah. That's what all of that. Most of that, when you began doing that, let me tell you, I know an individual who the doctors told because she had a stroke about 6 years ago that the doctors told her that she was going to be paralyzed, that she was paralyzed from her waist down. So I went to go visit her in Memphis, Tennessee, about 6 years ago, and I just left one of my clients, right? And not 6 years ago, back up in 2017, my apologies, 2017. So I went to go and visit her, and when I had just I got picked up from one of my clients' place, right? And then we went and drove up there. So she was she was in pain. So I just started rubbing her legs, girl, right? She was inflamed. She was inflamed. Her ankles was like inflamed, very big,
Yeah.
right? And she was in serious pain. So I pulled my concoction out that I had used on the individual, right? Listen, girl, do you know the inflammation started going down within 2 minutes? I said, oh, hold the fuck up. Excuse me. I said, hold up. You ain't paralyzed. You can't be paralyzed if what I just used on you took down the inflammation because the inflammation is associated with nerves. Ain't being paralyzed associated?
But look at how many people that they claim gonna be paralyzed. I just read a story, can't walk, and then these people overcome it. We put all our hope in these white people. I don't know why. We swear that they got the final answer because they wrote it themselves as God, but that's
Honey,
because we don't know.
you
So
can
the
use
swelling started going down.
oh honey, the swelling went down. Ain't started. It went her caregiver was it was just amazing to her. She was like, what the hell is that? She was like, she speaks, her caregiver was Puerto Rican. So she said, mommy, if I saw, she's like, what's happening here? I told her, I said, you're not paralyzed. I said these essential oils just communicated with your nerves. That's the only way your swelling can go down. I said
Wow,
you're
I'm loving
not.
this. We gotta have Black Element because we got so many questions in. You
Yeah,
could
I
be
know.
teaching us all day.
Yeah, but so the essential oils, the sea moss, the herbs, the all of that. I want to just talk about everything. I make
Yes.
everything from soap to the candles, and Bogatti had said yes, and the answer to Bogatti is that oh, I guess it seems like Black Love may have answered his question because he said where can one find vegan ice cream? Because I'm getting ready to. I'm working on sea moss ice cream too because they actually use sea moss. Sea moss is used to make pudding over in Jamaica, in the Caribbean. You know, can you take the pills for headache? And it comes with 8 side effects. Oh, you take their yeah. Well, and that's the reason being. So you got a headache, girl. You can take you some lavender. You can have you a bottle of lavender, and I'm just giving y'all this is a DIY, a do for self. You can take a bottle of lavender. You can sniff that. Watch how fast your headache go.
I need to get some. You sell the lavender?
Girl, yeah, listen.
Okay, because my family deals with headaches.
Oh
She
yeah.
make you make deodorants. Now tell about the candle because you said you make a candle that's a massage candle.
Oh yeah. Yes. I'm gonna talk about that, but let me hurry up and come back and elaborate. I would make products specific to if you, and so I'm coming out with that line for like specific for migraines. If you have something, I just don't have it set up and labeled as that, but I'll get something. And I'm glad you said. And in fact, what I need when your samples is coming, that'll be good for you. So I'm gonna throw.
Okay.
I didn't
Yes.
think of that, but I'm gonna throw a little bottle of oil inside of that you
Give
can
me some
start.
of that lavender stuff so we can try that with the
Yeah, don't
headache.
worry. Your soap got it. Don't tell nobody. Your soap.
Yeah,
Your,
so we're gonna send her to the website. We're gonna send y'all to the website, and then when you come, I'm gonna try to have 7 elements on here. So, like maybe one day we'll just talk about sea moss.
oh
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah, and something like that. But to tell us about the website, because
Oh
you was talking before, and you said that you were gonna start a membership on your website, or explain to
yes,
me what your
yes.
plan is, or what you got for us.
Alrighty. So I'll tell y'all. This is what I have going on. I'm coming back to your to the candles because that's going to lead to the website.
Okay,
Okay.
okay.
So back to answering the candle. Tell them I ain't worried about them. I'm covered.
Yeah, they can't get it. They steal everything anyway. They steal all ideas, but we gonna get it from the right
Yeah,
Black people. That's the whole point of the
yeah,
nation.
no,
So
tell them I know exactly how far to go. I
mhm.
ain't giving up too much. I got my
You
own
got 30
website.
years of education.
Hey, listen, I got my own website and I'm starting my own social media. Okay.
Mhm.
So that I don't have to worry about my stuff being censored and we have to worry.
A
It's
lot of
gonna
us,
be
yeah, a lot of us. She has a website, and we're gonna try to support her with the website so we can get our new Nutraceutical education.
and Nutraceutical and you got business
Nutraceutical.
on it. But the candles that I make are massage oil candles, and they are multi-purpose. They are um, 7-in-1 candles. They are environmentally free. And when I say environmentally free, they are environmentally free. They are made with wood wick. I just love the ambiance because I love candles. And so the ambiance of the wooden wick gives the crackling sound like you in front of a fireplace, you
Mm-hmm.
know. They're 100% vegan. When I tell you 100% vegan, they're 100% vegan. They're used only with all plant-based ingredients. I do not use soy, nor do I use paraffin wax. And the reason why I do not use paraffin wax is because paraffin wax is a petroleum byproduct. And a petroleum byproduct is not good. It's not good. It's not good for the environment. It releases so many different types of chemicals inside of
Mm-hmm.
it. So it's a petroleum byproduct, and it's not good. I don't use soy because the way soy is processed is where the danger comes in at. If soy would have been taken initially from the soybean in that state of form, it would have been okay. But soy is also specific to those people. And when I say those people, I mean the Chinese. It's not specific for us. They're not made the same way we are. So whatever molecules that the soy have, it is not 100% conducive for us because we need different things. So soy actually has a chemical inside of it that is called hexane, and it's Hexane, because everybody thinks that soy is safe. Soy is not. And what I recommend is for anybody that make products, that you begin to do research and that you look up the material. Well, excuse me. They used to call it MSDS. They just changed it, I believe, last year, 2019. They always change regulations. So now it's just called the SDS, which stands. It's an acronym for the Standard Data, the Safety Data Sheet. Safety, because the MSDS was the Material Safety Data Sheet. Anytime a chemical is created, there has to be a Material Safety Data Sheet on any chemical. Even when it relates to the immunizations, we find out what ingredients inside of that. You go look up that dang on MSDS to find out whether there are hazardous chemicals inside of it or not. So hexane is a very hazardous chemical, and it's known to release particles in the air that are carcinogen, which means that these are particles that can cause cancer. So anytime candles, the way candles work is that when you light it, that fire, that's matter. Those are particles that you're releasing into the air. And most people don't even know that. They don't even realize it.
Yeah.
You would with
the air fresheners and stuff. That's why I just stopped using them. I used to love the Febreze and everything, but they was nuh-uh.
Yeah, I make that too. I have the so I'm going to show you. It's a little bit dark. I might have to cut some light on in a minute, but I'm gonna tell them you know what? You better stop playing that. I'm here for it. Keep hold up now. Hold up now. Now you talking some spiritual stuff. I done just Brandon Cruz scene right there. Hold up now. I've been the book 19 years too. Y'all got chills behind that one right there because I love a man, the black man. I love the black man. I love the black man. Thank you. I love the enlightenment. I love the That's what we are.
I thank all the black men for their support in here.
Man,
Brandon
listen, black man. Brandon, ain't nobody told you they love
LeVar, all of them.
Yep, sis, I'm gonna ask you to forgive me. Excuse me 1 minute. I'm getting ready to cut the light on so you can see me. I see I'm dark.
Okay. And while she's doing that, y'all like, share, subscribe, and y'all see the website. Let me pull it up again, where you can go to her website so we can get some healthy products. Because I'm gonna get some too. Man, we're going to shop. We might as well shop from those that's here. I mean, because you're not going to get nobody. Those people who own Amazon, Walmart, and all them that stuff, they don't even know what products is on their shelves. They just looking at numbers.
You know what? And let me tell you,
and Amazon is not held responsible if people sell products that's messed up or fake or whatever, because anybody can sell off the platform.
Correct. They're a third party. And I mean, and that's smartly,
they don't check the products.
Yeah, they don't check the products. And why would they? The federal government don't even regulate the products.
Because they need the door open so they can keep stealing, robbing, and lying to us.
Well, I'll tell you that. If anybody look at the average, and I'll tell you the average product that they have out here, I don't care what brand you look at. I was talking about Bath and Body Works, but I'm going to share this with you. Dove has it. Dove used this chemical I'm getting ready to tell you about. Is it Jergens? Jergens? I know Irish Spring, I believe, uses it. They all use it, but the first ingredient you're gonna find in products as a formulator, because my products are not created with water. I don't use water except in my my black soap. I'm working on my travel size liquid black soap.
Oh, she make a liquid black soap, y'all. Y'all know we need that.
Yeah, yeah, and I'm working on it. So y'all listen, don't judge me. My labels are coming. I ain't got
It's
the
okay.
labels.
We not judging you. We rather have something that's real than to be dressed up and pretty and fake and killing us.
Yeah, yeah. And so this is black soap. I also have travel size hand sanitizers that I'm coming out with. And I thought that this is going to be cute so that you can carry this around with you. I got to learn how to do this. You see it? Okay, so I'm in here. You can see this now, right?
Yeah, we can see it. We can see it.
Okay, so you spray this, and I'm trying to show. I don't know how to do it, but I'm going to do it. You can see it coming. It sprays out, and you see it?
Mm-hmm. I see it. And that's the hand sanitizer.
This is a hand sanitizer, and I'm rubbing it, and you'll be able to see it once I figure out how to do it.
Yes, this is educational because we have to understand these people taught us not to educate each other.
I don't know how to. Y'all have to. There we go. So I should have showed the dryness first, but it lubricates. This is
yes.
I use sea moss. This is sea moss gel.
Oh.
Yeah. I use it with I use sea moss, and I can put other ingredients inside of that as well. It's alcohol free. So I do not use any alcohol because alcohol dries the cells out and it eats your cells up. So when we understand about skin and how the body works, and when we deal with anti-aging, because you know us women love to look beautiful and we like to be 50 years old and not look 50. Mm-hmm. You understand what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. And so the way we keep our youthfulness is to ensure that the dead. Kathy B said I got the hand sanitizer too. Look at, hey baby.
Let me ask you, without the alcohol, what do you use to kill the germs? How like?
Well, the sea moss itself does, and without and the reason why I use sea moss is because sea moss it's considered a marine algae. It's a marine algae.
Yes, so, and it cleans the sea.
It cleans the sea, and because it adapts to some of the harshest environments, right?
Yes.
It adapts to some of the harshest environments. So when you have to deal with your body, you have to say, well, wait a minute. If I'm going to use something that's supposed to protect me from the outside, why not use the best thing that survives the most harsh environment?
You know what? It takes us, our people who belong to this earth, to use stuff, because the people that control it, like alcohol, that's just a cheap, quick way where they can expand and everybody make it. They don't have and they keep the good products to themselves and then make it seem like you have to be in some type of status or financial class in order to get the good stuff. They know telling how they take care of themselves and they give us the scraps. But we need.
It's always been like that, and that's why I came in as under Proverbs 31:8 through 9 to open up the mouth, because even from a biblical standpoint, these type of things were kept from the, so to speak. I got your black love, I got your anti-aging. Send me an email if you would, please, because I have to actually do some little direct consultation on that. I take this stuff very seriously with it. So send me an email because I just need to know your age. I have to separate my anti-aging products because as we age, there's certain hormones in our bodies that don't work the way it used to work as it relates to keeping us youthful. So we have to re-stimulate that. That's what I love about the body. You can reverse everything. So back to the question that you were asking, yes, there is hope, but we have to, and yes, there is a chance, rather, for this to do it. It's just that we'd have to be open. The minds really would have to be open, and we would have to have this. We got to have this understanding to understand that the time we ain't got time to play no goddamn home. And that's for real. We
gotta start practicing this health and stuff just like we do church and everything else. It's imperative.
Yes, it's imperative, and it's imperative that we do it now, because let me throw this, a study, an article just came out. I think I saw it yesterday, that I'm going to start having to release. But that article came out and said that it was just found out that if individuals had a high increase of omega-3s in their body, their chances from dying from COVID-19 is much greater. Now,
but I heard that if you had a high level of vitamin D, that they found out most people who were dying of the COVID was vitamin D deficient. And
well,
notice most of us that they talking about is us because they keep us black people inside the buildings and
well, it ain't.
we,
It's not even just that. What we need to understand, and it's not just the sun that we need.
no, I'm
So,
talking about like all the bad foods, like from the most of the
yeah.
time when we're eating, we grabbing a bag of chips or a soda, and we're thinking that if we put something in us, we could just keep going because we're trying to make that money to pay the bills that they gave us and all that. Look at how the life they gave us.
Yeah, the life they gave us it was real messed up, and that's what makes us disenfranchised.
That's right, Bugani. He said health is wealth.
It is wealth at the beginning and the end of all days. So, what for melanin needs in order for melanin to even produce and to synthesize, right? There needs to be an adequate amount of zinc. Okay. There needs to be an adequate amount of copper inside of your body. Okay. There needs to be an adequate amount of phosphorus. There needs to be an adequate amount of sulfur. There needs to be an adequate amount of a whole bunch of things, okay? Which is why sea moss is one of the greater, and it's considered a seafood because the body requires 102 minerals, and sea moss have 92 of the 102 required minerals. So that means that your chances of your body maintaining homeostasis is better with sea moss. And to fight anything, it's better when you beginning to have an intake of sea moss than it is of anything. Because at least you know with this sea moss, you're getting you getting what you need. Sea moss has copper. Sea moss has vitamin E, the natural form.
I got it now.
You understand?
We don't need their vitamins. We just need a spoonful of sea moss and them other vitamins, the other. And you don't need those. Now I understand why I seen people keep saying just take you a spoon of sea moss a day. That's your vitamins. You just taught me something tonight. I promise I didn't know that. I didn't understand.
Vitamins don't do any good anyway.
No, but what people don't understand, when I had to have surgery, a lot of people they'll say stop taking your vitamins because half of the vitamins is not nutrients, it's chemicals and stuff that they use to bind the vitamins to, or whatever you're taking to your body. And I'm just learning that, and I literally just stopped taking stuff. So now I'm gonna do the sea moss. Let me ask you this too. Bigani, they said they're taking omega oils and fish oils. Is that bad to take those? So we need to just trade all these oils in for sea moss?
Well, not only is it just sea moss, chelamite, I have a substitute for that. The reason why we need to get away from thank you, Queen. The fish oils is because fish fish ain't really good, as they say. And they even tell you inside the Bible that you ain't supposed to eat fish, like catfish, because it's a scavenger. You're not supposed to eat that. You're not supposed to eat certain times. Tilapia is synthetic. It's not real. So that doesn't even deliver any nutrients. So you're intaking food that, you're going to satisfy your gut at that moment. But, man, you cutting down all that dang on. You cutting down your gut health because your melanin you have, and it lives inside of there as well, too. So what you have to do is because they've tainted the water so much here in the U.S. and they tried to get over there, and I got to continue to flow with it a little bit more over in the Caribbeans. It's not as bad because my sea moss come from over there in the Caribbeans. I don't mess with stuff generally grounded on soil in this country. I don't mess with stuff because the country's soil is contaminated. And we know that. From all of the lead, the mercury, right through the water. You know what I'm saying? And then that water has to come onto the sand, and it travels back onto the earth. So I don't mess with anything. I don't mess with products that come from here. So it comes from over in those areas where I know that there's purity, where the water is purity. My studies go so deep to whereas I even study about Wow. Do you know how they say the land of milk and honey, which comes from
Mhm.
the Nile Valley? I look for products all up in that area because everything that's in the Nile Valley, that's a fertile ground, and that's where Eve, that's where evolution. It's just that deep comes from. So what he can do is, instead of using the fish oil, because even the American Lung Institute put fish as a mucus causing.
Oh.
Yeah, because of the waters.
Mm.
The waters is too much bacteria
And then all
inside.
these fish that people don't know are picking up all the pollution, the microfibers of
Oh,
plastic.
yes,
They're breathing it in, and then they're saying
yes.
when we eat it, it's going inside our bodies
One
because
is
of the
because you are
pollution.
what you eat. You are literally what you eat. We are that. We are what we eat. So if you gonna sit your ass up and eat 5,000 calories a day, it's gonna look like you eating 5,000 calories a day. Because you are what you eat, right? And so when we understand that, when we deal with fat, they done lied. That we don't need saturated fats. Saturated fats is what's killing us. That's inside the meat. That's inside the milk. Them saturated fats are killing our people because they do not process inside the body. They
Wow.
do not. So because they don't process inside of the body can't digest it. The body can't do anything with it. And then it starts turning into pollution and toxin. And then it just starts coming inside of your body, your cells, and it starts taking over because your cells are your DNA. Your DNA. Your DNA and your RNA, your mRNA lives within the cells. That's you program. That's your
Yeah,
cells.
that's the programming, and
That's
they're
the
learning how to
motherboard.
do that. That's why with them for somehow I don't know if they do it with us, but you heard about them being able to manipulate the DNA. So they know to manipulate the DNA of us. They give us naturally bad products and foods and everything so that
Correct.
we can our DNA be manipulated, and now we producing angry children
And
not
that's
thinking,
yep,
all kinds of stuff, and we don't understand how they're literally programming us. We're making us program ourselves.
absolutely, absolutely. And because I've had a lot of people that don't like to have conversations with me because they just don't like to learn, right? And I've
Yeah,
had
that's
somebody in
our
my
problem. They want to go about the life, and that is our problem. They have taught us not to learn, but to have fun.
but to have fun, and that's all we
Or it
want
gotta
to do.
feel good. If it
Yeah,
doesn't
yeah,
feel good, church feels good, everything feels good, we go to it. But they teach us, oh, if it don't feel good, don't listen.
yeah, yeah. And then
It don't feel good
they
to say we gotta
control.
stop eating these sugar. It don't feel good to say we've been lied to, we've been tricked.
It don't
But
feel
we
good,
gotta believe it. It
but
don't
we
feel
have.
good to change.
But I mean, because here's the thing: if it's in black and white, it's in black and white. What else can I say? I like to say, and I use this saying, it ain't what I said, it's just what I read. Don't blame me. So if it sounds like I'm giving off medical advice, don't blame me. It ain't my fault because I know what I know. You understand what I'm
Mhm,
saying? I know
mhm.
what I know because I done read something them folks that already done. You get what I'm saying? So
Mhm.
that is really part of our problem. We're misfeeding ourselves, we're misfeeding our family. They doing us so bad, sis, that when I come showing y'all these studies, I've just ran across a study that they found out that black women are we losing babies so bad and
Yeah.
so significantly.
And
And
they
they're trying to
purposely did that because they were losing kids at first. They were going to be outpopulated.
Well, you got to understand how it happens. Most of it comes through what we use. Most of it is the plastic.
And
Most of
the perms.
everything because once we start putting chemicals, the perms up inside of there, and Pride Bentley, we sure did, and that's what we are deaf, but that's all right. We coming back to life just like Lotus. We reborn. That's what reborn again means. We're reborn. That's what we is. We gonna be reborn every night.
Most people waiting on they think that it ain't even no sky. We'll get back to the astronomy. Most people think that a white man out the sky with some people coming to save you, and then everything is gonna be okay. No, knowledge is your Jesus. Melanated being on the rise. This is your saviors here.
White man come out the sky on me, girl. I got something for his ass. I'm telling you right now, he gotta go.
Black mama said they brutalize us and stress us so much that we gravitate towards anything that feels good, even if it's detrimental, because we are searching for relief. Exactly.
And you know what, Black mama,
exactly. She said it perfectly.
Especially for Black women, that's a conversation we really need to have.
That one, we're gonna talk health. Even I'm gonna do it.
Black women, I have to go back because the Black man to me have it harder. And I'm just, in my personal opinion, I love the Black man.
Yes.
I love the Black man.
Black man has it harder, but we do got to talk about some statistics, because when it comes down to the Black woman being killed, beat, and raped, the brothers is majority of you doing it to your queens.
Yeah, it's a lot that we got to talk about.
But we have to all understand that we both been programmed to go against each other. They turned our protector. We were the king and the queen on the chessboard. Have you ever seen chess and they turn around and the king and queen fighting and then allowing the other opponent to come and take the king out?
Come on,
they got to distract the queen, mess the queen up, like you just said. The queen can't produce. We're losing kids. They making sure the queen messed up, because the queen, not trying to be funny, you are the strength men, but we speak that into you. It just something about a mom.
At the end of the day,
that's right.
Man, he's nothing. A man is nothing.
I know one of my people, Ashwar Kwesi, said that they have tricked you to say that the woman came from a man rib bone. He said your navel shows you was attached to a woman, a being that gave you birth to protect her and to be the head of the house. Now he said, anybody without a navel, please step forward and tell us, where did you come from?
Listen, I said you need to be missing one rib too. You better walk your ass around like this, but and that's real talk, and that's what they did. So they used that technology so
to
that
keep us off track, because we are the moms. When we start like what she's saying, they brutalize us and stress us. Women, they talk about as Black queens. Even the white women, we don't look at things for what it is. Does the white woman not paint the picture that the white woman stays at home and take care of the children, right? And the man go out. So the Black woman doing the same thing, except for the difference. When the Black woman goes to feed her children, there's oodles and noodles. There's everything bad. There's sodas and chips. The woman, we ain't got a nanny. We going to be a nanny to somebody else's child, mostly them since slavery. Then by the time we come nurture and take care of them, by the time we get to our children got the scraps and stuff. So they caused the Black woman to destroy her own child. Then she got a half-raised child that we push out in the world. So they know the Black woman at work
teach that
to be at home while the Black man working, or because she raising his seeds and stuff. So now we can't even work and we can't even feed our children, because we can't even give our children nutrients or teach our stuff what 7 Elements is telling us. We knew these things naturally at one point.
Yeah. And you know what they did because of the vagrancy laws, because they actually had laws that was created that said if a black person was caught teaching a Black person how to read, these were actual laws.
And we the only race that would be murdered, beat, or killed.
You were the only race that got that murdered. Now, if a white person was caught trying to teach a Black person how to, they only had a few rations that they had to pay. Mm-hmm. You understand what I'm saying?
Still kill and lynch the Black person for learning. What was they so scared at? Why we the only race that was taught? Because they don't want us to teach ourselves how to take care of ourselves.
Yeah, well, and because they don't want us to return.
Yes,
they don't want us to return.
That's right. They want the Black woman to keep destroying her family.
Yeah.
Even us Black queens, we produce everything on this planet. What comes from us, we produce the kings that's out here not trying to be funny. Kings, every king came from a woman. Everybody on science, and I'm not knocking it. You a woman before you a man. That's why the white man hate the woman. He even hate his women.
Ooh, teach it. Yes.
I don't even understand. That's why the white woman always going after the black kings.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's why the white man have an envy for the black man. His penis will wipe out his seed because his women want the black kings that we produce.
Well,
but they make sure we producing jokers, not kings anymore. While we at work and working their jobs, they making sure that their television programs and their foods and their bad foods is raising our children. And that's how we got the generation we got today. And that's why we got to
separate. That's why we got to have these programs developed. You understand? Intervention programs. This is an intervention program. I'm a former educator, right?
That's right. If you look at the Monopoly board, is the Monopoly board set up in the space? Everybody, close your eyes. You picture the Monopoly board. Where the hell is go to jail at? Ain't it in the corner? Then how come every time we go to the black neighborhood, there's a liquor store on the corner and a church on the other corner? And we look down at this board that we're on from a helicopter or from space, you can see distinctly what we're talking about. All the good stuff will be on one side. All the bad stuff will be where they put the black people at on the board. We really got to understand.
The rent is even low, girl. The rent low. You don't get that much profit on it. So shit, if you your rent might be $1. If somebody comes to land on your property and they trespass against your property in the hood, all you gonna get is $1 on that board. But you left your ass over there on Park Place.
Thank you.
And you getting $500 rent if you got a house on there.
Exactly. If you see the map, just like we see the map, we know how the United States is shaped. Then within the United States, we know how all the states are shaped. We know the shape of Florida. We know the shape of Alabama. We know the shape of California, right? It's landmarks. So as you get deep in there and you get a satellite, you will actually see the red lines because you will see the rundown neighborhoods. Then you will start seeing the big nice houses. Then when you look at the pieces on the board, you will see all the little white pieces is in the good parts, and all the little brown and dark and black pieces is in the parts that this is a real life Monopoly board. We don't look at things for what it is. I can go out my door right now and prove it to you. You can go out your door and prove it to yourself.
Now listen, heck yeah. And keep this. My chess mentor, this man was just brilliant to me. But he taught us how to play game. We taught in schools, right? And so we taught chess for critical thinking. And he had developed programs. And we go into the schools and we would teach chess. And he taught us how to play chess black move first. He let us know. He said, you see, this is exactly how the board of life is set up, because we know it. You and I know these boards are literally set up. The chess board set up the same way as the Monopoly board. You got 4 squares. You got a castle, but this is about a castle. You know what I'm saying? So when you look at courthouses and all of that stuff, their buildings look like castles. Every building.
Yep.
And it's on the corner.
And if you look at it, if you want to go way back before they started burning down our libraries and universities in Africa, you would know they mimicking them from the greatness that they saw. Absolutely. They burned down they renamed our libraries, and then now they dig up cities all the time, and you'll see all these major courtyards and stuff, and they'll say, oh, that's where the civilization lived. We don't know what them people did. They digging up our people and telling you our people look like they gathered and they taught each other. Absolutely. And they lived it for they didn't charge each other for knowledge. Everything that the white man, everything he have over here is a replication of what he saw in Africa, but theirs is just little.
Listen, it's a replication of everything. White man has not.
The chess was made by black people privately. It was made by Africans. It's on the walls. They made chess. They made yoga. They made all martial arts and everything. These people took our stuff and played against us. That's what I'm saying. You look at our people stuff. The man and the woman was together. When you look at King Tut, as they love to bring, he honored his mother and all that. If you look at all these great civilizations, when it comes down to digging up black civilizations, you'll see the man and the woman side by side. She held his rib. She didn't come from his rib, and she was, and they honored them. But if you go over to Europe where they got statues of little kids playing with man's penises and little kids and this and that, all that paraphernalia.
You gotta go to Europe, go to a Catholic church, and you gonna find
yes, little boys with their butts showing and stuff. Do you not see? Yeah, we made this, and they when they put pillage, when they went in there and stole everything from us. Like if I stole, and say we all decide we're gonna invade Europe because Europe is an advanced civilization. You supposed to be a scientist. I'm supposed to be a doctor. This and that. So we go and run in there and we take everything that real science and doctor have and put it on us, and we try to take over their work. We take over their work and call it our own and destroy them. That's what they did. They took Socrates and all them. They went over. They stole the work and then destroyed the buildings and stuff and burned the books. If you hear about, look up the University of Alexander.
No, I gotta hurry up and cover that. Look at what's going on now, sis.
It's repeating. They constantly repeat history. They erase our history as we go.
They trying to destroy the racism. They trying to make it seem like as if it has never, ever, ever existed. That's what they're trying to do, and that's why we have to talk about this, and we got to stand up because it's got to be at least, I believe, about 17 states so far. I haven't actually counted them, but there are 17 states so far that have actually made a public declaration. Now, whether they got on the news and said it is a whole nother story, right? But they made a public declaration and said that racism is a public health crisis. And we need to expound on that right now.
COVID showed that. Because they said we were dying because we weren't put in the healthiest places. Why? Because we weren't eating the right things. We weren't bathing with the right things. That's why they give us Dollar Tree, all that contaminated with all the metals and particles in the stuff that they give us.
Because we're peasants to them, and because we have a low financial bracket of income, and most of us are by ourselves, or understand, and that's a lot for a woman. I'm glad I'm divorced, but I'm glad all of my children are adults. You know what I'm saying, and that they're grown, because I couldn't do that in this day and age. I really couldn't. This is just, it's too much. They don't even pay you enough. They don't pay you enough with half of these things. But so, and that's another part too that we have to talk about. We going into business for ourselves, is it not? So one thing that 7 Elements Body Shop has going on is, as a part of my solutions to what I believe we need to be doing, is, for one, separating, because I'm seeing so much that's going on right now with this COVID-19. I live in Las Vegas, Nevada, and I'm going to be sharing some information with y'all, because actually, let me say this now. If y'all can go and do purchases onto my website, that's going to be very beneficial, and it's going to help me a lot, because what I'm doing is I am going to be taking part of the proceeds that I make from my sales, and I'm going to be putting that inside of a fund so that I can help families, low-income families here. Because here in Las Vegas, there's some unlawful and some illegal evictions going on, and I will talk about that some other time, and I'll tell you how I know is because it happened to me. I was unlawfully and illegally evicted, and I'm actually fighting a case right now. I just had the lawyer send me, I just received an email yesterday that the lawyer filed for a motion for order of default judgment, and this is Chestnut Checkers, and so I'm waiting on the judge. I haven't responded to anything as of yet, because I need this judge. I need this judge to make this move. You feel what I'm saying? Yeah, I see what Brandon is saying.
I'm putting up there, and what 7 Elements is talking about, like when you're dealing with these people, They are charging. They'll do our people wrong because I had to deal with something. But when you try to fight them back, like if they repo your stuff or if they evict you, you might not. They might not have a right to evict you, but you got to pay a court fee to say that, and that's stupid. It's like you are. What kind of mess is if you getting evicted? How we got to pay a court fee to tell the court is wrong? We should be able to go before a court in our American government for free. How we got to pay to go before our court, to go before our accuser before the judge, and we got to pay the judge or we got to pay the courts to hear. So what Seven Elements is saying that a lot of them people down there, they evict us, because I know it happened all over. We were comparing stories. They do it all over. They'll tell you, next thing you know, you got an eviction notice and you don't know that you can go to court and fight it and stuff, but you got to pay a court fee. So what she's trying to do was use some of these proceeds, and when people need to cause me and her talking about doing something, but when they need to go to court to try to fight an eviction, they can at least pay the fee. Because most of the time, if you ain't got money for this and that, you ain't got money to pay these court fees to say, look, Your Honor, I paid them this and that.
Because let me share this with you. Out here in Las Vegas, if they get evicted, they got literally between the sheriff got between 24 and
48
I think 48, I believe, between 24 and 48 hours to come put you out. Now, when you answer, because most of the time you can get out of evictions, if your contract, but you got to study the law, you have to know it. And so I'm going to be doing education, you know what I'm saying, and telling people what to look for in their contracts. And so I'm going to help people answer. I'm going to help people respond. I'm going to help them respond. I'll do it. I have a draft. I've drafted up something automatically that I can just do, and they can just take the paperwork and go down there and save themselves time. So instead of
that's good.
Within 24 to 48 hours, you go down there, handle that like you're supposed to handle it. Let the judge know X, Y, and Z, because we're going to find out where we got them at, right? You got an extra 30 days. So we're gonna do a show based on that, because see, what y'all have to understand, they never wanted us in a financial position to help each other. Do you see, just helping Seven Elements and helping us, like y'all help me, y'all support me, I got a channel, right? With my channel, I'm using to help and support others. Boom. Then you got Seven Elements here. She's giving us knowledge and stuff. This is how we keep our energy and dollars and minds bouncing in our communities. You see, there's Seven Elements. She's helping us naturally. But then on the side with her business, she's also being an activist. Being an activist don't mean you march out here fussing and yelling like she do. It just take writing up a piece of paper and liberating the people and being able to give somebody court fee. So not just having a black business, it's not just having a black business to make money, but look at the black business, real black business owners, melanated owners that's trying to look out for our people. You know what I'm saying? So when you're shopping black, when you're shopping with these white labels, they are not setting up to do nothing. They send their stuff to these same main funds, the NAACP, all these places been around since umpteen, and we still getting murdered in the streets, and we still got to raise money for our own people, funerals, right? Still ain't doing nothing.
So when you supporting a black business, you're doing more than supporting a black business. You're supporting black future. You're supporting, because a black business can be an activist on its own, like she doing. Right? She wrote like you said, you wrote a generic letter, and those people that's out in your area can use that. And then somebody that get evicted, she knows the fee you could pay, and that could save you time to get yourself together, because it's nothing like to be a knock on your door and you got to get out your house within 24 to 48 hours.
Girl, you know how much stress that is? That happened to me.
They keep us stressed, and they keep us where we can't help our people.
Listen, I couldn't believe what had happened. I couldn't believe it, and I had to hurry up. But it was a blessing that I had, because the rent that these people wouldn't accept, I just took that rent and went.
They purposely don't accept rent, y'all. They purposely don't accept rent. So I've been in that situation. Me and my son, we done been in place. They purposely will not take your rent so they can evict you. And then you got that money and you can either pay the court fee or you got to go on your way. You too busy trying to make sure you got a roof over your head or move to the next level. You be done past your court date. Then what they, remember I told you, then what they do, y'all, when they trying to send you a court date, they still want that rent even though they evict you. So they go to court and they send the court the paper to the address that they know they evicted you from, and then say, well, you didn't show up for court.
Yeah, and that's how they get you. That's because they clearly tell you on that eviction. And it's so crazy because when
thank you, Kathy B. You always thank you for your support. Thank you.
One of the requirements, girl, I actually just done sat. Yeah, they do it to throw us off because that's the whole thing. If hey, I responded to you. I mean, I notified you. That's one of the requirements is that you have to be notified. But the thing about it is, it's not fair if you're not notifying me at the appropriate place. As if you're supposed to do your research and due diligence to find out, like a private investigator, where to find me. You understand what I'm saying? That's in order for it to be fair. Anything outside of that, then you're in violation. It's almost 2 hours, girl. I'm looking. I don't know how long.
Yeah, I know. We're gonna come up out of here because we're gonna get you back. We're gonna get you back. We're gonna have you back. Like I said, it's so much. We just so happy. Thank you, Kathy. Thank you for your support. Thank you for all you do. All y'all faithful followers, we love you. We love you all, and we hoping that all of us together, we this family, and if it's just us, we're going to create this nation. We're going to create a place that we can bounce our good energy, ideas, and our dollars to our Black businesses. That's all of us that's in this family together because it's needed, because it's not just taking care of 7 elements of buying from her, but look at the dreams that Black people have, the real ones that wants to not just take what they got, but then looking at the problem and trying to fix it. Because she's looking at one problem where you can't even apply and go to court, and our Black people might need that court fee to be paid so they can stay in their place a little bit longer facing an eviction. We got so many fires, and it's going to take all of us to help each other in some way, form, or fashion. We got Black people that out there, they feed the people. You got this, but I love what 7 Elements is doing, because that's what we need to start hitting them at in their courthouses, giving our people power.
Ashe. Listen, sis, I thank you for bringing me on and for inviting me. Your energy, once again, I told you I love it. I love you. I love your audience. I thank the audience for being here to listen out. And I do just ask that if everyone, I'm trying to make my schedule right now. I want to go on the days that you don't go on, and the days that Goddess Masterpiece don't go on, because I and Goddess Masterpiece is, going to do our thing, and we got to be here to support one another.
We'll set up a special day for you, and then we'll let the followers know, because that'll be our Black Health Days.
Okay, good. Tuesdays, actually, the days that you don't, because you on Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. So I'll do on Tuesdays. I'm gonna be starting next week Tuesday, Toxic Tub Tuesday, where I'm inviting people to come take a bath with me.
Okay. Well, when I put you on, when we bring you on, you just tell us, and then on them days we coming to you.
Good. When you go, okay, you gonna bring me on again before Tuesday?
Yeah, well, you going on this? Where we gonna find you? You want to go on here for your Tuesdays, or you want to go on your website?
No, I'm gonna be going onto the website. I'm gonna be trying to lead people to me to follow my channel. That's what I'm trying to say. I'm gonna actually do it from the channel, sis.
Oh, okay, from your channel. Well, we'll be there.
Channel.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay, so I'll see you back on Friday, and then I'll just put it up inside, because I think the hours is gonna be on at 8:30.
Well, when I can post, and I don't know what your YouTube channel is, so you send me something, and I'll post the times and stuff on my YouTube channel, so we'll all know where to go.
Absolutely.
To follow you. Okay.
Absolutely. And thank you once again, girl. I got to get out here and get.
Okay, we all do. I love you. We love all y'all in the chat. Peace, love, and Black power.
Love and Black power, sis.